That was fun.
An earring. Hello everyone, welcome back into QVC and our Star Trek universe. My name is Delisa Crane, and one of my first times to share the Star Trek adventure with you, I had an absolutely delightful guest. We had actress Grace Lee Whitney, who played Yeoman Janice Rand in the original series. We had such a ball. I cannot believe they let us work together again. She will be joining us in just a few moments, and we are going to have a terrific time together. Let's take you into a quick preview, just 3 items. That's all we'll have time to talk about, and then we'll talk about some of the neat things coming up and some items in greater detail. Coming your way first, we're going to take you into a new trivia set. This one is new because it comes with a bonus edition, a bonus set. This one has an introductory price of only $29.92. It's C14003, and this is going to be fabulous for those of you that do enjoy The Next Generation. And this is going to, remember, have all of the highlights of the features, the episodes, the characters, the plots, and this is going to be really hot when the new movie comes out featuring the Next Generation characters. We also have for you, the first time that I've been able to share this with you, it's the Next Generation Crew signed plaque. And this one is $495. This is definitely going to be a sought-after collectible because, as many of you know, not only is the series going off the air, but all these people are about to become famous movie stars as they take the Next Generation into film. So this is going to be a very sought-after plaque, and again, you know how difficult it is to obtain autographs, especially when we venture into the film portion. $495, and there's all of your favorites. And what I was putting on for you a little earlier, this is the Deep Space Nine Bajoran earring. Thousands of these have been ordered since you and I have shared these for some time. This is exclusive to us here at QVC, and this particular design is modeled exactly after Kira's, if you recall, from Deep Space Nine. And Deep Space Nine, of course, is going to be the only new episodes that are going to be in production on television. So this is also going to be fabulous to have, fabulous to collect, and fabulous to own. The Deep Space Nine Kira's Bajoran earring.
Yo, check out the coolest jams around when QVC and Nike team up to bring you an awesome lineup of Hoop Heroes, shoes, and more. Fly high in Charles Barkley's Air Max, Chris Webber's Air Strong, or Michael's famous Air Jordans. Nike presents Hoop Heroes on QVC. 2 hours of shoes, new stuff you've never seen anywhere, and some surprise visitors. Watch Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 Pacific.
Doing. I wrote it all down
great.
So that I have it
Well,
for
we
you.
have one of our favorites with us. Here she is. Grace and I are just catching up very quickly. Grace Lee Whitney. Again, many of you remember her as Yeoman Janice Rand. The last time you were here, I introduced you as the person who many young men had their very first childhood crush.
How great.
And I think, Grace, many men now who have been watching QVC have had their second sort of midlife crisis crush. I think that's exactly what you've done for us.
Thank you.
I can't believe they put us back together again.
I love, you know what? I had so much fun the last time we worked together, and you sent me such a nice card, a beautiful card, and you said we're going to do this again, and I thought, how great.
I'm so glad.
You're so delightful. It's fun.
Well, we have such a good time together.
Yeah, we do.
We're gonna take it from the next step for people who were able to watch our show the first time, and we're also going to, for viewers who, because the Star Trek shows, Grace, bring in more brand new QVC viewers than just about any other show. So we're gonna.
Isn't this marvelous?
It is. It's a lot of fun.
I just worked with Marina last weekend.
On what kind of project?
Well, we did a convention.
Oh, fantastic.
Yes. Dee Kelly was ill.
Really?
Yeah, and she and I went up to Spokane, Washington, and did the convention up there. So we had a great time.
Terrific.
And,
Terrific. Well, we want to hear about what you talk about in the convention, but let me just introduce everyone first to the plaque. This one's new for me. I had not seen this one before, and of course, Next Generation is just so hot. And what makes this particular plaque very unique to our QVC viewers is that you get this card, and this portion, I just want to double check if this is the one that comes off. This is a special Skybox card. This one is $49.50. It's a limited edition. We are the only ones to have this particular card, and it's limited to only 10,000. So it is going to be a very, very sought-after piece. This entire package is exclusive to our QVC viewers. And something else that you should know is that this was brand new May 20th, and this is about only the second time that we've had it on the air, and I know that many, many people have selected this one. We have limited edition of 10,000. I think over 5,000 of these had been ordered since our last program. So do keep this in mind. This one is very limited, and especially as Next Generation heads into film, this is going to be something extra special. So what did you and Marina have a chance to talk about at the convention?
Well, we talked quite a bit about Star Trek 7 and the fact that our captain has just become the prince of the set.
Really? Which captain?
Captain Kirk.
He has?
Yes, everybody was scared to death. Since his book, you know, he wrote a book and said that he had no idea that everyone was so kind of intimidated by him. And so he just went into the movie set and was just fabulous with everybody. And she said he was just wonderful.
Really?
Just wonderful.
It was funny because you and I had talked about that the first time, and when he was here, I guess he was here, I'm not quite sure how long ago, but he mentioned the same thing, that he had watched some of the shows and he didn't realize that how people were reacting to him, and he himself had said that, yes, he was very intense, and that he was working so hard to develop the character and develop the series, he didn't realize, you know, how others were taking him.
Exactly, and I mean, for him to do, you know, to realize that and to do the book and interview each one of us and then be able to go back and kind of make an amends by working with everybody and being so terrific.
That sounds great.
So that's what she said. She said he was wonderful. That's really, we talked more about Bill Shatner than anything else, and of course, she is so excited about the film.
I'm sure.
And sad that that Next Generation is, you know, finished.
Yes, and so are so many of the viewers, too.
It's a very, very sad thing. I tell you, when a show finishes, it's as if part of you dies. It's I used to do a lot of Broadway shows in New York, and when the shows would end, it was hard on everybody.
Loss.
Yeah, it's a loss.
And that's what you had said the last time when the third and final season of the original series had gone off the air. Everybody was just kind of,
amazing.
you get an empty feeling.
Yeah, empty feeling, right.
So that means that I guess you guys really have a terrific rapport, and you really build up a sort of family.
Yes, and we also get a paycheck every week.
You know, it's amazing
I
how when
you're so practical, but I mean, we get paid.
It's funny how when you lose that, you really do feel a great deal of sense
You go,
of
now
loss.
what am I going to do? And then all of this fear of abandonment and all this, am I ever going to work again? And am I good enough? And where am I going to work? And what kind of role am I going to get? And then you got to call your agent and you got to start all over again.
Exactly. So you were saying, too, that you have been doing so many other projects. In fact, the first time, you don't have any of the original pictures, do you?
Yes,
because some of my production coordinators had missed that. And I said, you don't know Grace? Grace developed Yeoman Janice Rand, and she was actually picked out because she was, in fact, now you probably all recognize her. Now you know exactly who she is. A very, very sexy character.
Well, I don't know. Do you think so?
Very sexy.
Oh,
very sexy. Look at that. How could you say that's not sexy? Isn't that fabulous? But when they developed Yeoman Janice Rand, they really didn't know what they had in mind. They just saw you, and you had been in Broadway.
No. Gene Roddenberry knew.
He knew?
Oh, he knew. You know what I was supposed to be, don't you? Kitty to Matt Dillon.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's what you had said.
See, I was the captain's yeoman, so I was with him, and
I love these pictures. Look at all these pictures.
Here's the original. I should take this out of the plastic. This is what the original series that Gene wrote called Police Story. This is Lieutenant Lily Monroe. That's Lily St. Cyr and Marilyn Monroe. And now Lily St. Cyr was a stripper.
And you're saying you weren't sexy. Oh, police.
Well, this is Gene Roddenberry's idea, not mine. But I mean, I was a police lieutenant. There's my badge, and I had this uniform on, and I worked with DeForest Kelley. And he was in the series, Steve Inett, DeForest Kelley, and myself, and he took us out of here and put us in Star Trek when Star Trek sold. I guess you've heard this all before.
No, that's terrific.
But it's such fun to look at these pictures. I love to look at these pictures.
I'm sure. And they do, too, because now it puts everything into a context. I was telling our production coordinators backstage, they had no idea how sexy the show really was. And then when I said, oh, you should see Grace's picture, and she was the original
star. And here's the
mermaid.
This was before we even Well, everybody's seen this 100 times,
Look
too.
at that. That's a great shot.
This is before the hairdo.
That's right. In fact, Peter
Before
just said,
Yeoman
is she the
Rand's
one with
hairdo.
the beehive hairdo?
Yes,
That's it.
beehive hairdo.
That's it.
And here is kind of like after.
Before and after. That's sexy, Grace. That's
She was
fantastic.
kind of cute.
She was very
And
cute.
here's I love this. This is an artist's rendition of Yeoman Rand.
Oh,
Isn't
that's
that
great.
beautiful?
From the original series.
Yeah, isn't that darling? Look how they paint her.
That's wonderful.
Isn't she cute,
She
the way
really
they
is.
do that?
She really is.
I love that. These fans, you know, the fans have wonderful artwork and wonderful talent.
And they're so committed.
They paint us and do our things. Now let's see
Terrific.
what else in here.
This is the Next Generation
yes.
final season plaque, by the way, $49.50. Again, what makes this one exclusive to our QVC viewers and extra special is you have that additional Skybox card that is available nowhere else, as well as this fabulous crew plaque, limited edition to 10,000. And we're going to take you into our autographed crew plaque. This is probably one of the most popular and one of the most spectacular pictures that we've ever been able to introduce to you. We are down to just about our final quantities on this one because this is limited to only 2,500 pieces. That's it. And as Grace will tell you, Bill Shatner, listen to me calling him Bill like he and I are best friends. William Shatner, see what working with you does? Bill Shatner and Leonard Nimoy never sign autographs, so this is something very, very unique. It's very special, and it is a true Star Trek collectible.
But it's not the original crew.
Who's missing?
Majel and Rand.
There you go. Majel and Rand are missing from this particular one, and you know how you can tell?
he wasn't in the first year.
That's exactly right. In fact, Majel had reminded me, you know how you can tell that this is from the second year? Second season.
Because
Walter wasn't in the
But see,
first.
Majel and I should be here for the original.
Why'd they do that?
We don't know. We just feel gypped. We've always felt gypped. They just don't. I don't know why. I do not know why.
And then there's a very interesting story with Michelle's picture.
Yes, I heard about that. You told me. It's the only one that they took the face off something else, right?
Well, apparently they had taken the picture and inserted it because if you notice, all the guys
Everybody's
are looking one
the other
way.
and she's looking straight ahead. Isn't that something?
Very un-90s of them, isn't it?
Very interesting. Very interesting.
Grace. $495. Again, this is a very special piece because you don't find anything like this out there. They do have it fully autographed. It will come with a certificate of authenticity, and as Grace just mentioned, rather unique because it really is a different representation from what I guess is the actual crew, the original crew.
I don't know why they did that, but if you're a Star Trek fan and a follower, I mean, Majel and I were there in the very beginning.
That's right. And Majel still is the computer voice, even carried into the new series.
But she was Nurse Chapel. She was probably the most important character in that she was in love with Spock. I mean, she and Spock had a thing, and that played beautifully. And then she had Bones is a nurse.
That's right.
See, she had all of this.
And she had some funny stories, too, that originally she had auditioned for one part and didn't get it, so Gene had changed a wig and gave her a completely different hair color and brought her in as a completely different character. It's wonderful how those little stories come about. Any other good stories that you heard from the convention? Anything new or different happening?
Well, everybody's so excited about Star Trek 7 and about the fact that Deep Space Nine is doing so well, and now the Voyages are coming, and they're going to be casting that, and everyone's going to be happy with that. And what else?
Do you guys have to audition? Like, if you're interested in being in Voyagers or in the movies, do you have to audition like other actresses?
It depends on who's producing it. I never went and auditioned for any of the films because I just went in as my original character or whoever they were going to have me be.
Right.
If I were going to play another character, I probably would. Yeah.
That's amazing. And then what would the whole process be like?
Well, they would call my agent and say, we're interested in using Grace Lee Whitney for another character on Deep Space Nine. Could you arrange a meeting so that she could come in and talk to us about the part? My agent would call me and I would say, ooh, I'd be thrilled. When can we go? And she'd say, I'll set it up and call you. She'd set it up. I'd go in. I'd sit down. They'd say, Miss Whitney, we'd like to talk to you about this certain character that we're writing, and we wanted to know if you'd be interested in playing this character. Oh, yeah, I would be. May I see? And could you tell me a little bit about her? They would tell me a little bit about her. They would give me lines to read. I would read the script, probably test for it with makeup or, you know, whatever kind of a wig or whatever I would have to use. And then they would make up their mind whether they wanted me or not.
It's amazing.
It would be the same exact thing as I did in the series.
And the same process that so many actresses go through. And then I think a lot of people and a lot of viewers just assume that once you've made it, once you're an established character, once you're an established celebrity, that it's a piece of cake, and they don't realize that you still have to
unless
go
you're
through the same.
unless you're like William Shatner, who does not, you know, 911 is still one of my very favorite shows. I don't know if you watch 911. I watch it all the time, and you know, he's not acting in it, he's just narrating. But in Tech Wars, I don't know if he's going to do any parts in Tech Wars either. Have you heard anything?
I haven't, no, and I watched
the show. Is he coming on the show at all anytime?
I haven't seen him on it, but I've been watching the show.
On this show?
On this show?
Yeah.
I don't recall. They keep me in the dark, Grace.
It would be great if he could come on and talk
dark.
about his new, you know, his 4 or 5 movies scheduled at Universal. Doing very well.
It is. It is incredible. Great. Our autographed Star Trek original crew plaque, $495, C5166. Right, right. We're going to take, in fact, I think this is new for us. Did we see this the last time we worked together?
No, that's
This is the encyclopedia. And
that's wonderful.
This is very, very popular.
I sign a lot of those in the autograph line.
Really?
Yes.
Now, this I have seen in the conventions. This is one of the few items that we have that just about sells out every time it's on the air.
Yeah,
this is less expensive than what it is offered at the conventions. I do know that for a fact because I picked up 2 of the books from the conventions that I didn't even know we carried. This one is only $16.57.
Very good.
It's at $4,958. And this one is so filled. Grace, I guarantee you this is filled with more information than you have ever even thought you wanted to know about Star Trek.
Isn't that
this
great?
Is amazing. I mean, they go through such details. Look at this. This was just, I swear, that was just luck. I opened it up. There you are.
Yes.
This is fabulous. It gives a little bio.
Yes.
And it says Starfleet officer who served as Captain Kirk's yeoman during the early days of Kirk's first 5-year mission aboard the original Starship Enterprise. I mean, they give you your whole background, your whole bio, what you did on the Excelsior. This is wonderful.
It's great.
This is wonderful. So you keep up to date with all the characters. You keep up to date with all the events. It takes you through the various unusual, I guess, objects or nouns or any kind of information that you ever wanted. It even talks about conferences and meetings and a little bit about episodes. And then look at this. It even goes through the different uniforms.
Fantastic.
Isn't that wonderful?
Fantastic.
What they mean, when you saw this particular uniform, like in The Cage, which was the pilot.
Yeah.
And as you're examining this one, again, this one sells out just about every single time. It is truly a terrific piece. Whether you're an avid Trekkie or you're someone who is just mildly interested in the series, this is a fun sort of, just a fun reference guide to have with you. And it takes you all the way through the current pieces, through the current episodes. Let's head over to the telephones. Would you like to say hello?
Oh, yeah, I'd love it.
Okay.
Love
You're
it.
live on the air with Grace Lee, Whitney, and Delisa. Who's this, please?
Hi. Oh, hello, Miss Crane. This is Debbie Maniscalco of Staten Island, New York. How are you this evening?
Hi, Debbie. Good to talk to you.
Oh, I am so very glad to see you, Miss Whitney, on television there.
Thank you.
You look just as beautiful and ravishing today as you did when we first saw you in the Outer Limits TV series there.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm so glad to see you, and I'm so glad that you have come across the difficulties and all the problems that you've had to deal with in your life.
Isn't it amazing? It's wonderful. I'm very, very happy. Very happy and very, very, very good to be here.
Oh, I'm very glad to see you. And I have to say that I have been in mourning, like many, many Americans across the country, as the end of Star Trek, The Next Generation here. And I was just wondering if they're going to be, if you're going to be taking a part in the Star Trek 7 as well as Kirk and Company.
No, as far as I know, I am not in 7. 7 is already finished. I think that Bill Shatner and Jimmy Doohan and Walter Koenig are in Star Trek 7.
Oh.
I have not heard of any of the other original crew. This is strictly
This is strictly just to say
next
goodbye to Kirk
generation.
and Company and to say goodbye and to welcome in the new crew. Is that correct? Oh, I can't believe all the gorgeous pictures that you could still pose in for today as you did back then.
Yes.
Deb, what did you pick up anything tonight?
Oh, I certainly did. I got to see 14003, the Star Trek trivia game, which is going to be added to the many hundreds of things I've already gotten from QVC so far. Miss Crane, you look really lovely tonight. I love the communicator pin on you, and it looks really terrific along with that earring that you wear.
Oh, thank you very much.
So
now, let me ask you this,
What
Deb.
have you been doing with yourself lately?
Oh, I'm doing just so many things. I went to Spokane, Washington with Marina Sirtis last weekend, and the weekend before that, I went up to a small city in California and talked about recovery in the women's prison.
I saw you on the Family Channel too to try to explain.
And I did the 700 Club show, and I'm going all the time. I'm just.
No, you look absolutely
People
wonderful.
are very interested in recovery and in finding a solution and finding listening to someone who has been through it and come out the other side. And
if everybody
it's a
could
gift.
come out of it the way you have, this world would be much, much better.
It's a gift.
And you're really an inspiration, Grace, for so many people. You're the light at the end of the tunnel when they feel the same way and they see that, you know, you started off in Broadway and were such a huge success. And everyone, I think, in this world can empathize with what you went through. I don't know anybody, even of all my friends, who at some point hasn't lost a job or hasn't felt the same insecurities or doubts or inadequacies, no matter what position they've had. And then to be able to rise above all of that and come through.
Well, I'll tell you, it's been a struggle. I don't mean to say that it's been easy. I have a medallion on that says 13 years clean and sober, and it's one day at a time.
Oh, sure it is.
And I go through depression and a lot of stuff, that I deal with on a daily basis through a 12-step program and through a higher power in my life, a spiritual walk, and reaching out to other people. It's just, I want to just help where I can. I have to give it away to keep it.
Oh, of course you do. And
so
you've
that's
given
what I
us
do.
more than we could ever hope to have had in our lifetime.
Well, thank you.
And you look absolutely wonderful.
Thank you, thank you.
Keep well, dear lady. Keep
Thank
well.
you very much, Debbie, for calling.
Thank you for calling, and you enjoy your new trivia game.
I certainly will.
And we
Delisa,
appreciate
keep up
it.
the great work.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you.
Bye-bye, dear.
Bye-bye. Over 300 of the encyclopedias have been sold, Grace, so no wonder. I mean, this is just so much fun. Don't you wish you had something like this when you were on the show?
It is one. Well,
It's great.
we had compendiums.
Yeah, really?
We had a compendium that we had, and they told a little bit, a smaller version of that. Of course, that's enormous. But we had little bits. You know, we've come a long way. I mean, we've grown and grown and grown.
Yeah, and the more information people want, the more research they have to do, and the more they have to write about it.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, we're going to take everyone into my next favorite item. This is absolutely my favorite item of all times. You had a blast with this the last time.
Great.
This is our Star Trek soundboard communicator pin. I think we were the ones to really start it all because this is exclusive to us here at QVC. This is the one that I wear for every Star Trek show because it's fun. It's a conversation piece, and I was talking to Dave backstage, I think over 50,000 of our QVC viewers have selected this as their personal pick when it comes to the Star Trek show. Well, first of all, it's unisex, so right away the guys can enjoy a lot of things that they may not be able to enjoy in some of our other programs. Secondly, this doesn't ruin your clothing. That's why I can wear it with no matter what outfit I have on the air, whether it's a beautiful pure silk outfit or just something casual and fun. It's completely magnetic. So you just clip it on, and then you literally will have over 10,000 presses, I don't know if you can hear the sound I'm making, over 10,000 presses before you even have to think of changing the battery. Isn't that great?
It's fabulous. It looks great on you. I love it.
It was so cute. I had Majel on, I guess she was the last guest I had on the show, and I said, Majel, I was told this is licensed by Paramount, that this is exactly the same kind that you have on the show. And she said, you know, with the microphones up, she said, well, I really can't tell a lie. It's not really the same.
Oh.
And I said, that's okay. You know, I'd rather have you be honest than for me to say something that's not true. What's different about it? And she said, ours doesn't really make noise on the show. She said, but the crazy crew that we have, they'd be doing this all day, and we'd never be able to get the lines out. So she said they have to dub in the sound afterwards.
How interesting.
Isn't that a riot? She said, these are actually better.
Oh, how interesting.
Than the ones they use on the show. I thought that was
great.
a riot.
Yeah.
So you do have a nice, heavy base metal.
Terrific.
It's a nickel and brass plated piece. Again, over 10,000 presses. It's completely unisex. It's exclusive to us here at QVC. And again, as Grace will tell you, because she is one of the celebrities that so many people flock to see at the conventions, you will not be able to find this piece at the convention because this is licensed by Paramount just for QVC. Would you like to head back over to the telephones?
Yeah,
okay.
Great.
Hi, you're live on the air with Grace Lee and Delisa. Who's this, please?
My name is Pamela Mitchell. I'm from Detroit, Michigan.
All right.
Hi, Pamela. How are you?
Hello, Detroit.
I'm fine.
You know why you know why she's so excited about Detroit?
No, why?
I'm from there. I graduated from Cooley High School.
Did you really?
Yes, I'm a Cooleyite.
How wonderful. I went to East Detroit.
All right. I know right where you are.
But I've been a fan of Star Trek for a long time, but I have to say that QVC started me collecting. My very first piece was the Star Trek soundboard communicator pen.
Oh, sure. How can you resist it?
I can't, and I just love it. And I've gotten a Klingon pen, a future pen. And Delise, I want to thank you because the first time I watched the show, you were hosting it, and now I have a rather nice collection thanks to QVC.
Oh, well, Deb, I'm so thankful and so thrilled, and I just have a ball with it too. And it's for people who, as you said, you know, I always enjoyed Star Trek. I remember growing up watching Grace and watching Kirk, but like you, I said, well, I've never collected anything like this before, and I never really thought of purchasing an item. But until we had it here and we had it available and we brought exclusive items and we made it fun and we tied in Grace and all the celebrities, then I started saying, I have to have these pieces. They're just fun. So I get a kick out of it. I really do.
They're great. My son is in the Marines in Okinawa, and I was just talking to him before you came on tonight. And I guess I had neglected to tell him that I was collecting because we broke off our call so I wouldn't miss this.
Oh, how funny. Oh, how funny. So Star Trek comes before your own son.
Yeah, he says, Mom, I didn't know you were such a Trekker.
That's terrific. That's terrific.
I have the plaque, too, that you showed first with the card in it.
Yes, the
and
Next
that
Generation.
one does open.
It
it's
does
just
open.
a little tricky, and it's just beautiful.
Yes, and it's such a good price, too. I neglected to mention that since a lot of the plaques, as you saw, are in the $400 range, it's nice that other people can be able to pick up one for less than $50.
Yes.
It's a really good piece.
Grace, you were wonderful. I enjoyed all the episodes that you were in, and I just want to thank you.
Thank you.
Everyone from Star Trek and QVC for helping me and making my life richer.
If it weren't for you guys, I tell you, we wouldn't be here. We love the fans. You guys are terrific. Thank you for supporting us.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Deb. Thank you, and you enjoy. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. $31.50. We need to talk a little bit about that, Grace, because we had talked about that the first time you and I worked together. How we just mentioned a little bit about your inspiration from your personal life, but also from your role as Yeoman Janice Wren. I mean, we were kidding about the sexy part, but you even had mentioned that you were quite an influence for so many women, especially back in the 60s.
Definitely.
What kind of comments have people said to you regarding your career?
Well, there are two ladies in NASA that became interested in the space program as little girls, 9, 8, and 9 years old, from watching Star Trek, from watching us interact on the ship, and have become, in the space program, have become very, very much involved in NASA. And they said it was a direct result of Rand and Uhura on board the ship and all of our duties.
I think that's one of the reasons Star Trek probably had such an impact for so many people, especially someone like me growing up with television. It's one of the only shows that I think we can all readily remember where women were portrayed, since it was supposed to be futuristic, portrayed in very positive, authoritative, knowledgeable, intellectual roles. You didn't find that on regular television. So
And it
really
was a futuristic feel. It had and it had a moral tone to it. It was not too violent or too. It was adult, but it was not offensive.
Exactly.
It was not offensive, and I get people in the audience in Spokane. There were people that were in their 60s and people that were 10 years old, and they had been watching from the beginning. Some of these 10-year-olds watched the original series, you know.
Sure.
So it's hard for them to see us now, today, after they've been watching the show, because, you know,
they want to remember you
want
just exactly the way you were.
Yeah.
That's so cute.
But we were an influence, that's for sure.
That's fantastic. Our soundboard communicator pin, by the way, $31.50. It is exclusive to us, to our QVC viewers. And again, I think the number has already gotten up to 50,000 from all of our total presentations on the soundboard pin. So this is an extremely popular item. It is a fabulous conversation piece, and again, you'll be able to wear this as a unisex style as well, and no age limitations. You just have to love something special. And Dan Hughes and Pat James are going to launch the brand new QVC morning show. And when you share it with them, they're going to show you this special item.
Used to be protecting your favorite sports cards meant a rubber band and a shoebox. Not anymore. This Friday morning, QVC is first in the world to introduce the Card Shield Protective Lamination System. Whether it's a hot rookie prospect or a celebrated Hall of Famer, your valuable cards will stay protected in these airtight, waterproof pockets. These laminating pouches are perfect for keeping your cards in mint condition for many years. There are 25 pouches to start. The system is item number E5762, and it's offered for the introductory price of just $45.28. See its world debut Friday in the 2-hour premiere of the QVC Morning Show with Dan Hughes and Pat James Dementri, starting at 7 a.m. Eastern, only on QVC.
And welcome back into our Star Trek program, everyone. We are having a ball, as always, with Grace. We're going to introduce you to our next item, which is new for me, and then we're going to catch up with Grace on some other special ideas or questions that you may have missed from our last time together. This is the Next Generation poster set, and again, I don't need to have to remind you that this is going to be extremely hot as they launch their series into the realm of film. And what we have for you, and they will not come mounted, that's something you should bear in mind. We have them mounted here for display purposes, but you will receive it rolled up and then decide if you want to mount it, if you want to frame it, or present it as a gift suggestion. $39.50. These aired on May 20th, so this is only about the second or third time you've seen these, and they are not found in any retail store. These are, again, something special for our QVC viewers. And you can see 7th anniversary commemorative. It's amazing to think that they were on for 7 years.
You know, that's just what I was going to say to you. Do you know, they really made our show more important.
I think so. I think absolutely.
They made everything work. The Next Generation made everything work, not only for the original cast, but for Deep Space Nine.
And why is that? You think because people just began to fall in love with it again?
They were on 7 years. They were on all the time. They were good. They were just dynamic.
So how do you think that plays back, Grace, into everyone's love for the original series?
It stirs up. It stirs up, and you want, when you see this and you like it, you want to look at the original show and see how it all started.
Exactly.
And then you go to Deep Space Nine and you want to see how it's going to go from here.
Exactly.
It makes it fresh and keeps it alive. That's what they've done. See, that's why I'm working more now than I did 10 years ago.
Isn't that incredible?
And that's because of the Next Generation.
It's almost like a new way of storytelling.
No question about it.
That
it's great. They've done a great job.
That's
I was
wonderful.
sorry to see it go off.
Yeah, everybody is. We have
Very
another
sorry.
viewer on the line. Would you like to head over?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. You're live on the air with Delisa and Grace. Who's this, please?
Hi, this is Mario from Niagara Falls, New York.
Hi, Mario. How are you this evening?
Oh, doing fine, doing real fine. And I'd like to wish both of you a good morning and a good evening, Grace and Delisa.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Mario, have you been able to either see Grace during the last time she was on our show or watch some of our Star Trek specials?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. In fact, your Star Trek specials started me off on QVC about 4 years ago, and
Fantastic.
I just been watching ever since and pick up every single special that you have on Star Trek.
Great.
And what did we find for you today?
I picked up item number F4958, the dictionary.
The encyclopedia.
The encyclopedia.
Isn't that
correct.
great?
Oh, it's wonderful. It's wonderful. And it's really funny that you put me on the air at this particular time, because the item you're showing now, I just picked up on your last Star Trek special.
So did you receive these already, Mario?
Yes, I did, and I want to tell everyone out there, the TV doesn't do it justice. When you see it in real life, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
What is it that makes it so striking? I know it was done by a famous artist who I was not familiar with her work, but it's Sonia Helios. And apparently this is a very famous work that she's able to do, again, with the colors and the clarity and everything else. Why do you think it looks better in person?
Oh, because it's the quality of the print. It's just not like going to one of your department stores and picking up a rock poster or something like that. It's a very quality used paper that it's on, and it's a very quality done print.
And where have you displayed it, Mario?
Oh, I have Star Trek items all over the house. I'm running out of room.
So it's not just relegated to one room. It's kind of in the living room, a little bit in the bedroom, some in the dining room, all over.
It's everywhere. I am I don't consider myself a Trekker or a Trekkie. I consider myself a Trekking.
and where does that fit into the whole realm of it there, Mario?
Well, I have to agree with you on what you were just saying, that thank God for Deep Space Nine, thank God for The Next Generation and all that, because it keeps us diehard Star Trek fans going. It helps keep our taste in what we like. Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
You know what that means. I don't know if Grace knows what that means. You know what that word tone, that little tone means?
No.
He's going to play a game with us.
Oh.
Okay, Mary, we're going to cross our fingers for good luck, and hopefully we'll make a trip to the prize wheel. How does that sound?
Okay.
Okay. Your clue is going to be a musical term. A musical term. Good luck.
Rhythm?
Rhythm. Do you have rhythm, Mario?
Yeah.
You sure do, because you got it.
Oh.
Congratulations.
Oh.
Woo.
Hey, Grace, it's all because of you.
You see, because Grace brought you good luck. That's fantastic. Rinska took a trip over to the prize wheel, and we'll see how many shopper dollars to credit to your account. Okay, Mario?
Yes.
You didn't know there was so much excitement over here, did you, Grace? Look at this. Word games and prize wheels and, oh, Mario, you're going to love this.
Whoa.
150 QVC shopper dollars are headed your way.
Thank you. Thank you.
Our pleasure. Our pleasure. Listen, you enjoy that. You can use that toward any purchase whatsoever.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for keeping us company.
Thank you. And Grace, I want to tell you, you look as good as ever. And I remember you ever since I was 6 years old, Grace, let me tell you.
Amen.
And there's one part in the Star Trek series that I will always remember you by, and that's when the Enterprise was hurtling towards a planet, and you brought up a pot of coffee, and they asked you, where in the hell did you get the power to make the pot of coffee? And you told William Shatner that you used a hand phaser to warm up that pot of coffee.
And you know, she was resourceful and a spunky gal even way back then.
That's right.
That's
okay,
funny.
good night.
Thank you,
Thank you very much.
Stay on the line.
Okay.
Bye-bye. And see, 14013, I'm so glad he called in to say that these are so much sharper and so much prettier in person. And again, very affordable for a poster set. That brings us already into our first break during our Star Trek special. Stay with us. We'll chat with Grace in just a few moments. Did you see this? Is that who did it? Did Sonya do that?
I thought so.
Wow. That's
But I don't think so. I think it's Jason Carter.
That's great. He has a series. And still available, the final season plaque, $49.50 again. That is an excellent price when you compare it to some of the other pieces that we have in today's show. It's C13623. Again, you get that wonderful Skybox card that is exclusive to our QVC viewers. It can be removed from the little plexiglass casing. And 150 of you have selected this as your pick of the hour.
Friday in June is Fashion Friday on QVC. Tune in each week for a different 3-hour fashion special every Friday morning from 9 a.m. to noon Eastern and every Friday evening from 9 p.m. to midnight Eastern. This week, watch for these special hours. Don't miss our biggest fashion shows of the month. Fashion Fridays every Friday in June, only on QVC.
Hi, I'm Steve Bryant, inviting you to learn about the latest in home entertainment technology in a brand new QVC program. It's Electronics Weekly, and you'll find it right here every Tuesday evening at 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 Pacific. You'll get detailed demonstrations and thorough explanations on the newest and wildest electronics. And you'll be amazed at how simple they are to operate. Join me Tuesday night at 11 p.m. Eastern for the premiere of Electronics Weekly.
Welcome back into Star Trek.
Michael Pillar.
Grace and I were just talking. Mention what you just said, because we were saying how some of us are purists and we love the original
everyone is
show.
asking that we should have come back on Deep Space Nine. This is what I hear all the time. And George Takei and I, George and Gracie, we thought that you were going to do an episode of us coming through from the Excelsior, coming into the wrong time zone and getting caught on Deep Space Nine. So we're waiting for you to develop that. We thought it was being developed.
And that's certainly plausible, because if you look at yesterday's Enterprise, where they have Tasha Yar, you know, dead and coming back alive and doing all these things, there's no limit.
Maybe you want George or I to write it. Is that what you're after? You want us to submit an idea?
Well,
Tasha Yar always does that, you know. She submits ideas, sure.
Oh, I didn't realize.
Sure.
Well, that's what you have
That's
to
what
do,
we have to
Grace.
do, huh?
You have to be your
Well,
own
I'll have to get George and we'll have to do it. Right, we have to
Just
do
like
that.
when Michael was sitting here, I said to him, how can I do a walk-on? Now, what do I do?
Are you going to do it?
I don't know. I wrote to him.
Fabulous.
And he hasn't answered me. I said, I'll dress up as anything.
You look
Klingon,
you'll be
Bajoran, just
wonderful.
let me be there.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting for him to, I think it's going to be one of those, don't call us, we'll call you.
You never can tell. That would be wonderful.
You never know, Grace.
No.
You never know.
No.
We're going to take you into our next generation trivia game with the bonus set. And what's so fun about this is it is newer than the other sets we've had for you, because it does have the bonus cards. And I won't embarrass you. This is so cute. One of the production coordinators said, well, just ask Grace a bunch of questions from the cards. And I said, I can't, because we don't know anything. People just assume because you were on the show that you know all the little bits of trivia and information.
Well, I know a lot of stuff, but a lot of stuff I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, it's, I mean, just like...
What you mean about the next generation?
Or about anything. I mean, who keeps track with all the minute details? You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, I have viewers write to me about QVC things that I didn't even know we had or were showing or what have you. So it's wonderful. I was going to embarrass you and ask you questions, but you're saved by a phone call.
Oh, good.
How does that sound?
That's good.
You're live on the air with Delisa and Grace. Hello. Who's this, please?
This is Steve from Windsor, Missouri.
Hi, Steve. How are you?
I'm fine, kind of halfway asleep, but I'm doing pretty good.
Did we force you to stay awake, Steve?
Yes, ma'am, you did. I had to drive about 20 miles to come in and see a TV just so I could see you guys.
Oh,
you're
wonderful. Thanks for staying awake.
Yeah, how did you know we were going to have the Star Trek special?
Well, I get the schedule mailed to my house. Because I bought a lot of things off of QVC, and my aunt's the one that gets cable, so I just have the schedule shipped to my house.
Oh, that's great. So that's a true fan, Grace. Drives 20 miles just to see you.
Amen. That's great.
I drove almost 560 miles to see Nichelle Nichols about 3 weeks ago.
Where was she?
Wichita, Kansas.
Wichita, Kansas.
Wonderful.
I'm going to be in, where am I going? I'm going to Iowa.
Where at?
Trek Fest.
Okay.
Trek Fest in Iowa, the end of June. Is that near you? Is Iowa near you?
Let's see. It's about 220 miles to the border from where I'm at.
They're having a William Shatner, you know, that's where he's from in Iowa.
Well, I kind of figured that from the way they've been talking in the movies.
Right, right. So they're having like a William Shatner Day and a big parade, and I'm going to ride in the parade with a big mock-up of William Shatner.
So when Grace Lee Whitney parade,
Walk down the
Whitney Day.
Yeah, should be great.
Funny. That's funny. What did we find for you today?
The encyclopedia.
Yeah.
I've seen it at the convention. It's like $22 and $23.
I told you. Would I ever lie to you?
Well, I don't know.
No, I never would. You should know that by now. I never have. I never would. Wonderful. And what was it about the encyclopedia that you said, you know, I think I'm going to select that for myself?
Well, basically, it's because I don't have it. I got, you know, just about all the other ones from Akuda's, and that's about the only one I didn't have.
And which is your favorite? Do you prefer the original series with Grace, or do you prefer the Next Generation?
Well, there's no contest there, the original series.
The original. You see that? Lots of purists out there, Grace. They love the original.
It's hard to beat. It's hard to beat the big three.
That's right.
Spock, Kirk, and Bones. It's very tough to beat them. In fact, I have a picture here of Bones and me in my nightgown on the bridge with DeForest, which I love. Remember that in Charlie X?
Yes.
Yeah.
Remember look how young we look. Don't we look wonderful?
That's terrific.
So you've been watching all these years, huh?
Well, I've been watching since I was 4. I actually got to see it before it got put into, you know, syndication and started rebroadcasting, but I mean, I've watched it as long as I can remember.
Amazing.
That's terrific, Steve.
Now here's Star Trek 4, too. I got a picture of that, which I love.
That's my favorite one. Which
Star
is your,
Trek
have you
4.
seen all the films, Steve?
Yes, ma'am. My favorite one, it's kind of a toss-up right now. I'd probably say 2.
You like 2? You like The Wrath of Khan?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
You know, I do, too.
The Wrath of Khan.
I do, too, but I love the whales.
Yes.
I love that.
George and Grace.
My wife loves Star Trek 4.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's the
Star Trek
best.
4 is just great.
It's also, I think, the funniest. The most humorous.
Funniest. When they were in San Francisco and sitting on that bus with them in those outfits and nobody was even looking at them sideways, I thought it was so fabulous.
It was great. Well, Steve, we're unfortunately out of time on our trivia bonus set, but I want to thank you so much for giving us a call.
Okay, thank you.
And thanks for being a true fan to drive 20 miles or 20 minutes away just to see Grace. We appreciate that.
Okay.
And you enjoy.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. C14003, introductory priced again at $29.92. I believe this made its debut. Actually, this one might be one of the brand new sets that we have for you. 10 new cards. It's very, very popular. C14003. And here's the autographed Star Trek original crew plaque for $495. C5166. Again, this is extra special because of all the features that Grace and I had talked about, the way that Michelle is pictured, the fact that all 7 people have autographed this piece.
It's wonderful.
$495. And take a look at the background, too. It's one of the few pictures where the set is actually lit, and it looks like everything is active. Very, very sharp. C5166.
And also Jimmy Doohan. I've never seen, it's been a long time since I've seen Jimmy like that. Look at how gorgeous he is.
He looks great.
Isn't he gorgeous? Of course, we all, you know, what can I say? We were young then. We were all young. Beautiful.
We're going to take you into something else that is going to be very popular. In fact, this sold out the last time that Hugh was on the air, for those of you that remember
John Delancey.
I
love John Delancey.
And they had sold out of this one, so we brought it back in for everyone for today. And again, it does not come mounted. We're just doing this for display purposes. $35.50 at C10885. And this is sharp. There's Majel.
Oh, wonderful.
And it gives all the character names. It shows, it's an uncut sheet. So in other words, if these were cards, and Grace just showed me a trading card or a special collectible card that's going to be coming out with her picture on it. This is the same idea. It's a card that you can cut up, but apparently they're more valuable when they're left in the uncut version. So you can literally frame this and keep this up in the living room.
This is beautiful.
There's cute. There's John Delancey.
Yes.
He's a fabulous actor.
Isn't he?
He really, in fact, that's something Grace and I haven't talked about. A lot of people just assume, well, it's science fiction and it's fun and it's kooky. You know, where do they get these people? But just about everybody, from the original to the new series, are very consummate professional actors.
Very much so.
And
very much so.
Talk a little bit about your background, how you had first started.
Well, I've been working. I did 100 shows before I ever did Star Trek. From Marilyn Monroe with Some Like It Hot was my first film, and then I did Irma la Douce, which was written for Marilyn too. Shirley MacLaine did it because Marilyn died. But I started out in New York and did all those shows with Troy Donahue and all the original people from Warner Brothers, and I worked with Betty Davis.
That's incredible.
And Anne Margaret when she was 9 years old, and I was Miss Chicken of the Sea. I worked with Candace Bergen when she used to sit on her dad's knee. Charlie McCarthy would be over here, and she would be sitting here. She was adorable. In fact, I have a picture of me in this Chicken of the Sea with Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy. Look at that.
Isn't that wonderful?
Funny?
It is. It's terrific. It's
There's
terrific.
Egbert. I don't know if anybody even remembers him. Call in, you guys. Does anybody remember this? Is this too old for you guys or not?
No, I even remember.
You do?
I do.
God.
Not from the actual airings, but my parents
See, I
talking
wish
about
this
it.
were up. Why didn't they put this in here? Where could we put this? We
That's a
could put
good-
this in
Grace
the
wants to
middle.
put in her own card just for you. I love it. And yours has a little bit of trivia on the background too.
Yeah,
Which is
a little
wonderful.
bit, I think.
We have another viewer on the line. Would you
Oh,
like
good.
to?
Hi.
Hi, you're live on the air with Grace and Delisa. Who's this, please?
Hi, this is Melanie from Shelton, Washington.
Hi, Melanie. What did we find for you today, Melanie?
I got the encyclopedia.
Great.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I got it from my son because he chastised me really severely last time when the show was on last month for not getting it. So I'm glad it's on again.
And I think it
Good.
had sold out the last time, did it not?
I think so.
I know a couple of pieces. In fact, I was very disappointed. They usually give me the tribbles. They're my favorite. But the last time Grace and I were on together, they completely sold out, and they haven't made any more.
Oh, I love the Tribble.
So we
In fact,
never know.
I named a cat Tribble, Trouble and Tribble.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
oh,
two
that's
kids.
Darling.
I have 4 cats. One of them is Mr. Lovey-Dovey. Mr. Lovey-Dovey. Remember what Kim Darby said to William Shatner? Mr. Lovey-Dovey.
Oh, what a
When he
riot.
used to look at Rand, remember that? So I named a cat Mr. Lovey-Dovey.
Oh,
and
that's
I
great.
named 2 of the kittens Trouble and Tribble.
Oh, how adorable. That's hysterical. So, Michelle, who's the big fan in your family, you or your son?
Well, actually, both of us. I'm the purist in the family. I love the old show, and my son loves the next generation. So
How old is he?
my son's 19.
19. Okay, so I guess he grew up more with the new series recently. And then
Exactly.
you and I, of course, all grew up with the original. Nothing
Oh,
beats
yes,
the
every
original.
show I can get a hold of and watch, and all the reruns, everything.
Do you have any particular favorite episode that you recall?
Actually, I think you just mentioned it, and that was the Tribble.
They are darling.
Trouble
They're
with
wonderful.
Tribble. Wonderful. David Gerald. Right.
It was so great. I even have, I love to watch my computer at work because I have the screensaver, Star Trek screensaver on there as well. So I watch
great.
it all day long.
Oh, wonderful. Well, Michelle, it was a pleasure speaking with you today.
All right, thank you very much.
And thanks for giving us a call, and best to you and your son.
All right, thank you.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. C10885, that's the Next Generation Uncut Sheets. Again, $35.50. No troubles. I mean, no triples today. And over 500 of the Star Trek encyclopedias have been selected at $4,958. QVC priced at $16.57.
Fabulous. You mean tonight they...
Hundreds. I know, isn't it wonderful? It's fun. We're going to take you into something special. This one is new for me. I have never had the pleasure of presenting this before.
This is gorgeous.
And we'll ask Grace some wonderful stories because,
this
of course,
is gorgeous.
she worked with these guys. These are the 2 characters that probably more so than any other actor in Star Trek, either the original or the new series,
Amen.
never sign autographs, and probably the most popular characters to date. These are, of course, Leonard Nimoy and William Shatner as Kirk and Spock. This is the motion picture plaque for $198, C13977. This is brand new. In fact, not only have I not seen it, no one has ever seen this. This is making its debut right now. Brand new for you. It is exclusive for our QVC viewers. And again, this one has the certificate of authenticity. It is limited to only 1,000. That is it. We only have 1,000 of these to go around.
Beautiful.
And it does come on a black marble finished plaqueboard. It's actually, I believe, a wooden base, but it's designed to look like marble. And this one is from, I'm trying to think which motion picture this one came from. It's the photo.
Star Trek, the motion picture.
The motion picture, the original. You're right, the very first. Okay, tell us some.
Well, Star Trek, the motion picture was the thrill of our lives when we all were called back to do this after 10 years of being away from each other. And we all came back together on a ship that was designed by NASA. It was because the first ship was put together with spit and rubber bands. This ship looked real. In fact, I was Transporter Chief Rand. And when I was in the transporter room, looking at this gorgeous transporter room, the set was unbelievable. A little lady came up next to me, very official, and she said, "I'm here to show you, with the schematic, to show you how to run the transporter." and I looked at her, and then I looked at the schematic, and I thought, gosh, does this really work? It was so real.
And where was she from?
She was from NASA.
Is that incredible?
She was from NASA. Can you imagine?
And when we had Michael Piller on, and the last time you and I had spoken, I understand that people who write for the show and all of the facts are checked with true scientists. I mean, it's not just, most people think of it as science fiction from back in the 60s, and it isn't. All the facts are checked, all the language is checked, the data is checked, the plausibility of the things that are happening are checked.
Amazing.
It really is. It really is.
And this, I tell you, this is gorgeous. This is the two, I think this is Star Trek for my money right here. This is what made Star Trek go, is the dynamic between these two gentlemen, between these two actors. And both of them were excellent together. It was such a privilege.
How was Leonard Nimoy in person?
Such a privilege to be with both of those actors and work with them and off of them and interact with them was a thrill.
Now, you fall in love with the character and you wonder, is he like that in person, or what's he
Leonard
like?
is just wonderful. He's wonderful.
Warm.
Warm.
Completely opposite of Spock.
Well, but Spock, it's really, if you catch Spock in an off moment, he's warm.
It's that rare little glimpse of human that peeks through.
Yeah.
We have to head over to Rinsk at the Lucky Number machine. If you're on the line for our brand new Kirk and Spock autograph plaque, please stay on the line.
A new 4-digit lucky number is drawn every hour on the QVC cable shopping channel. Every time that number matches either the first 4 digits or the last 4 digits of your QVC membership number, and you notify us by phone that you have a match before the next lucky number is drawn, your QVC account will be credited with 10 shopper dollars, and you will also be automatically entered in all 5 of the next day's $1,000 QVC shopping spree drawings. If you don't already have a membership number, get yours now. It's completely free, no purchase necessary, and there's absolutely no obligation. Just call toll-free 1-800-345-1515, and a QVC membership number will be assigned to you on the phone.
And our current QVC lucky number is 0933. That's 0933 for the current QVC lucky number. And C13977, the autograph plaque, again, limited to 1,000. That's all that we have to go around. Well, we're going to take a look at something that's unusual for me. I know Steve Bryant is really our comic book expert, and he was so excited when we could show something like this. This is so, I guess you'd call it precious as a collectible, that they have it encased. I wasn't even allowed to touch it because we don't want anyone to ruin...
This is the motion picture, too.
Precisely. It has a little bit of everything. It's Star Trek the motion picture, but it's autographed once again. You have William Shatner and Leonard Nimoy's signatures right on the cover. And you'll notice it's limited once again to only 980 pieces, less than 1,000, and it does come encased. $249.
It's gorgeous.
C4288. And there you have
It's
a 23rd
gorgeous.
century Odyssey. And I loved, that was a wonderful character too.
Yes.
Really nice.
And Persis Kambata, you know, she was fabulous in that bald head. Do you remember when the doors opened and she appeared on the set, in the film? I saw it in the theater with everybody, the whole crew and the cast and the audience and everything. And when she came on, huge screen, when she came on and just came right out, we all just went, oh! You could hear a gasp through the whole audience. She was glorious.
And she's a gorgeous woman.
Ilea. I wrote a song for her,
Really?
Ilea's theme.
Really?
Yes, and sang it to her at my house.
Lovely.
Ilea and Decker. I wrote a story about Ilea and Decker.
And he's so handsome. What was that, Stephen Collins?
Stephen Collins.
He is
my
such a hunk.
Goodness. What a hunk is right.
Well, it was
gorgeous.
So cute. I'd asked my sister, she had seen the movie before I did, and I said, well, you know, is it a little bit risque because I was going with somebody and I wasn't quite sure. And she said, well, it kind of is. She said, you know, they don't really show anything, but she said it's so romantic that you really get the sense happening through it.
Definitely.
So very, very, very nicely
fun.
done. And I had the chance to talk to Robert Wise, too.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
Was he here?
No, he was, when I was at Muhlenberg College, he was one of our guests.
No.
And he was the director.
He loved Star Trek. Do you know his wife was an extra?
No.
Yes, I have a picture of his wife, Robert Wise's wife in uniform,
how cute.
on the set with me.
How cute.
And who is the other? It must be, not Robert, it's, I can't remember. Oh, it's just she and I. It's she and I in uniform smiling and looking. It's a wonderful picture.
And she's
Next time I come, I'll bring it.
Do it, do it.
Robert Wise's wife was in uniform on board the ship.
That's so cute.
How do you like that?
That's wonderful. And he is a famous director for a lot of people who aren't familiar with him. He did Sound of Music, which is a classic. And I think, did he do West Side Story? He did West Side Story. He's just a fabulous director. Just fabulous. Let's talk a little bit about these characters, Spock and Kirk. Now, explain to us how Janice Rand, since you're one of the most popular characters, and all the guys have confessed their crushes, how was that character sort of pulled away from the series?
Well, it was explained. And Bob, I have a scoop for you. Something that I never knew. I've been telling my story at Star Trek conventions and people have been writing articles and everything about what happened to Janice Rand. Why did she get written out? And because I developed into the disease of alcoholism, I thought that had something to do with my being fired. And about 3 weeks ago, Bob Justman called me, and Bob Justman is doing a book on Star Trek.
Right.
And he said, you know, he said, I read William Shatner's book and I've read all the articles. He said, I was sitting right in the room the day they decided to take your character out. And it had nothing to do with what you say it had to do with. It had to do with the fact that you and Kirk looked too close together in film. And that they wanted to develop his character with other women, and they thought that you would stand in the way, so they wrote you out. I was sitting right there when they did it.
So they were just afraid that Kirk would come off like a cheater.
Exactly.
But they still wanted him to have his little fun with all the different green women out there.
But you know, Gene Roddenberry told me later that Janice Rand was really the only woman that really knew Kirk, because she was very close to him. And he should have left her on the show because she really knew him.
Yeah, and she could sort of be like the Greek chorus for all the viewers.
Exactly.
Wonderful. That's going to take us into our first break. We've already done 1 full hour of Star Trek. Stay with us. Grace has so many more terrific stories, and we have some other fabulous items to show you. Stay with us.
Do I have to order items only when they appear on the screen?
With QVC, you can order any item at any time of the day or night, not just when the item's on the air. Place an order in the morning for an item you saw last night, or videotape a program and call us later. Simply have the item number ready, and so long as supplies are available, we'll take your order, just like we always do. It's that easy. Shopping when it's convenient for you. Just another reason why smart shoppers shop with QVC.
This weekend is your last chance to pick up a pair of amazing blue blocker sunglasses like these ultra sleek Vipers and be automatically entered in a sweepstakes to win this Viper. Tune in to learn how you could win a real 1994 Dodge Viper. Watch Blue Blocker Sunglasses this weekend on QVC.
Is there anybody that could bring me a cup of coffee?
Welcome back into our Star Trek show, everyone. We're here with actress Grace Lee Whitney, who, of course, is Yeoman Janice Rand. And we were just having a ball just now in the commercial talking about different characters and different episodes. And you said one of your favorite people is Nichelle.
Nichelle is just like my sister. I mean, she is such a good actress and so dedicated. I was there when they put her a star in the Hollywood Walk of Fame. By the way, I'm getting a star.
Congratulations. When's that happening?
I have no idea. It's not been totally approved, but it's in there, and I hope it comes up. It'll be just great.
How does that get nominated? How does that work, Grace?
Well, you have to be in some sort of community service, and you have to have put in so many years, and you have to be recognizable.
That's fantastic.
So and you have to be sponsored. I was sponsored by a group of fans. In fact, one of them, Kat Campbell, who is the main one, not a group. Actually, Kat Campbell's doing it. She ran the Rochester convention, and she's just darling, and she's an avid Trek fan. And she loves the work that I'm doing and all this stuff, and she submitted me, and it's in there right now.
That's
so
exciting.
I hope it comes. But I was there when Nichelle had her star in. And Nichelle, and there was Dee and Leonard and George, and all of us together there watching and applauding for her, and her mother was there. You know, her mother recently died. And there was her darling mother, and we were all standing there. And I tell you, to think that we all go back so many years, it's just so exciting to be with each other when all this happens.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And it's a very cohesive group. That's what you and I were saying, that it's not just a show, that you guys aren't just pretending to be compatible, that you really do have a connection, and you're still in touch with each other 25, 30 years later.
You know, I was sitting right next to Walter when he had his heart attack.
Really?
Yes, in Chicago. So that was just frightening.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
I can imagine. We're taking a look right now at the Next Generation Crew signed plaque for $495. This is C13868. And once again, this is, I would say that this is exactly like the original plaque, of course, with the Next Generation series. So for those of you that are more of a fan of the newer version, this is going to be an excellent opportunity for you. And I'll be very honest, you know who my favorite is here? My absolute favorite character?
Him.
He's definitely up there.
Data. Oh, well, there's nobody like Data.
Adore
Thank you
Data.
so much.
See, 13868.
Data.
This one is limited to only 2,500. That is it. That's all that we have to go around. Again, it's very difficult to obtain these kind of autographs. Don't forget, this is, of course, going to be more collectible because once they head into production for the films, this is going to be extra special. Let's head over to the telephones and see who's joining us. How does that sound? Hi, you're live on the air with Grace Lee and Delisa. Who's this, please?
Hi, this is Kathy. I'm calling from St. Charles, Missouri.
Hi.
And Grace and Delisa, it's so nice to be able to talk to you.
Hi. I love the fact that there are so many women calling, too.
Oh, yeah,
you know?
well.
I think everyone assumes that Trekkies are guys. And
I'm a woman's woman, right?
Oh.
Janice Wren was a woman's woman.
She was. She was. The original woman's liver.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Right. What did we do for you today?
I ordered the encyclopedia, and I got the trivia game with the 10 bonus cards.
Terrific.
And I called to tell you I remember Edgar Bergen. I'm dating myself.
So glad.
That's
so
fantastic.
glad.
He used to be on Ed Sullivan, and I always watched him. He was so delightful to watch.
You know who this is?
Gentle man.
Of course, I was just a child.
Do you know who this is? A mere child.
A mere child. I was, and we had a little black and white set, and we watched him every Sunday night when he was on Ed Sullivan.
And didn't you always wish you had a Charlie McCarthy doll?
Oh, yes.
I did. I wanted one so badly.
I did. I just loved him.
Do you know who this is?
Who? Oh, okay. I'm looking. Let me see. I missed it.
Don't put it back.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's Groucho.
Groucho
Marx. Yes.
Were you sitting on his shoulder?
No, I was sitting on a
ladder.
Yeah, on a ladder on his show.
It's like a little who's who. With, you know, you don't think of that with
I gotta find out and see if she knows.
Wren.
Are you a Batman series? Do you like the Batman?
Oh, yes.
She has a little archive right here for you.
I brought all the archives. But anyway, we wanted to talk about this.
Who's going to play the bonus game with you? The trivia game.
Well, my husband. I've gotten him interested in Star Trek. He never was interested in it before. And I've been watching it, I guess, the last 4 years. I wish to goodness I would have watched it from the beginning. I missed a lot, but I got hooked on it in its fourth season. And he never really got into science fiction. And we began to make it a ritual every night at 9 o'clock. We'd sit there and make popcorn and just watch Star Trek. The Next Generation.
Right.
And he really got into it, and he's just as sad as I am that it's all done.
That's right. That's right. Who's your favorite character?
Oh, gosh, it's so hard, but I think it's Data.
Yeah, you and me both. Why do we love him so much?
I love Data. He's so versatile, even though he's not human. I guess that's why.
Yeah, and maybe because that's why. Maybe because he doesn't argue or tell us that we can't shop or, or all those things that husbands do.
Right, he's limitless on what he can do, and I love it when he plays Sherlock Holmes and he puts that pipe in his mouth.
Adorable. He's adorable. Have you worked with Brent at all, Grace? Have you met him?
No. Oh, yes, I've met him, but I've not worked with him.
What's he like in person?
He's darling. I went down on the set and had my picture taken, Majel and I, and when the Voyager was, when we were going up to, where were we going? I got the planets mixed up when we were, and all the series mixed up. We had a big party and he was there and he was just darling. We all had our pictures taken together with Picard. Majel Barrett, not Majel on one side and me on the other with Picard.
Fun.
You know, really
Fun.
good. It showed up in the NASA magazine.
That's incredible.
It came,
That's
and all the scientific magazines.
It's wonderful.
I have to say, Majel is my second favorite.
Majel's your second favorite.
I just love her. She is so spunky.
Spunky,
yes.
that's
And
a
I love
wonderful
her
word
as
for her.
Troy's mother. I
Yes.
just think she's fantastic.
And you know what's terrific too? She does, I think, for the more mature woman, what Janice Rand did for the young women of the 60s.
Yes.
You know, women who were just breaking out from being the traditional housewife. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but providing alternatives and providing options.
Definitely.
And I think Luoxana Troy does the same thing for, you know, a more mature person. Who's still spunky and still lively and vivacious and wants to live life.
You know, she's going to do her own show.
Energy. You know,
Did you know she's producing a science fiction show?
No.
Yes.
Where's that going to air?
She's in L.A. She's producing it. She's
Really?
Yes, she's hired writers. She's going to have her own company and do her own show. She's going to do her own show.
Her.
We'll talk about spunk.
We'll have to get the scoop from her the next time she comes to visit with us.
Yeah.
Terrific. Well,
I'll keep an eye out for it.
Wonderful. It was so much fun speaking with you.
It was fun speaking to you, too. And maybe I'll see you at one of the conventions, Grace.
Oh, you sure will. I'll be around.
Well, it was real nice talking with you.
Thank you.
Terrific.
so
Thank you
much.
for calling.
And you and your husband enjoy.
We will, and keep the Star Trek shows coming, because we just got a lot to catch up.
Yes,
Live long and prosper, my dear.
Thank you. Same
You're
to you.
welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
C13868, again, the original crew plaque, only $2,500 for $495. We have one of the cutest little collectibles, also one of the most affordably priced picks this hour. These are pewter statues. Let me show you how you can tell which series these come from. The Next Generation will have a sort of elliptical bottom, and it'll also tell the character on the bottom. And then the ones from the original series will have the little delta bottom. Isn't that neat?
Oh, it's
Here's
wonderful.
Commander Spock. Here's Worf. And pick out your favorite. As I said, Data's my favorite. Here we have Data. Okay, and we have, this is Riker, and you can see they're all in their different poses. What amazes me is that in pewter, they still can make their faces look so realistic.
They're gorgeous. They're gorgeous.
That they've done such a beautiful job. Here is Deanna, who's been on our program many times as well. And then this is, this is Spock. And again, the difference in the bases will tell you which series you're looking at. The Delta is going to be the original show, and then Next Generation, the circular portion. Here's Worf. And while we're playing with these, Grace, would you like to head back over to the telephones?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Hello.
Hi, you're live on the air with Delisa and Grace. Who's this, please?
Hi, this is Sandy from Anchorage.
Hi, Sandy.
Sandy from Anchorage, Alaska.
Right.
Oh, how
boy.
exciting.
Good for you.
Good to have you with
Thanks
us.
for calling.
Thank you for being on. I have a question for Grace.
Okay.
You said you were going to be in a parade in Iowa,
Yes.
but where?
Where in Iowa?
Mm-hmm.
Well, is there a Rapid City, Iowa?
Yes.
That's right where it's going to be.
Okay, we'll be there.
You will? How fabulous.
Are you seriously, Sandy, going to fly out from Anchorage to Iowa just for the convention?
No, not just for the convention,
Oh,
but we will be there.
It's Trek
That's
Fest.
fantastic.
No, it's Fairfield, Iowa.
Oh, I know where that is.
Fairfield, Iowa. It's where Captain Kirk was born.
I didn't know that.
Yes. And the parade is honoring Captain Kirk's birthday.
Oh, yes.
Yes, and it's a parade, and they're having a whole convention called Trek Fest, and they're expecting 15,000 people.
That's incredible.
And one.
15,001.
Plus one.
Right.
Sandy, did you pick up anything tonight?
We have the communicator pins.
You already have it.
I love that.
We enjoy them so much.
How often do you wear them, or for what kind of occasions?
Oh, we wear them to, like, the market.
To the market?
Well, we have a Saturday market.
Oh, I
Kinda
see.
like a
Oh,
big
yes,
flea
I
market.
see.
And other people have them on, and it's fun to see.
Oh, I love it.
Therefore, it causes people to talk.
Yeah.
What kind of comments do they make when you wear it?
Oh, I have one of them, or, oh, you're a Trekkie, or, yeah, and they'll say, did you get it at QVC?
Because they know it's exclusive to us with the soundboard. Wonderful. Wonderful. Well, it's good to have you joining us this morning, Sandy.
Well, thank you. It's still evening here.
It's still evening in Alaska. And very quickly before I let you go, which did you favor? Did you favor the original series, or do you like The Next Generation?
I like the original.
You like the original. I had a funny feeling.
Classic Trek.
Oh, yes.
All
yes,
right.
we are.
Fantastic. Well, Sandy, you enjoy, and when you see Grace in Iowa, just say, I was the one that spoke with you on QVC.
I will.
And she'll remember.
I will be sure to do that.
Good.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much.
You
See
take
you
care.
there.
All right, bye-bye.
And our Star Trek pewter statues, again, between $17 and $18. They're adorable. By the way, this may be the last time we'll be able to offer these. These may not be returning to QVC, so this is the last call on the Star Trek pewter statues. We have for you a special plaque. In fact, this one made its debut just last Star Trek program back in May. This is about the second time that we've had to show it for you or to you. So this is an extra special piece. One of your favorite characters, I know Steve Bryant adores her. This is Deanna Troi. This is the last season autographed plaque. This is the, I believe this is also from the last episode, if I'm not mistaken. $119. It's C13582. It's the 8x10 photo of Marina Sirtis. And of course, it does have her autograph, limited to only 950 pieces. After this, that's all. There will never be any more made of this particular plaque. So do keep that in mind. And it is quite difficult, once again, to not only get this gorgeous picture, but to obtain the photo. To obtain the autograph. $119. It will come with a certificate of authenticity. And as I said, I do believe that this was done from the 7th and final season, and it is done, I believe, from the very last episode. Let's head back over to the telephone, shall we?
Okay, hi there.
You're live on the air with Delisa and Grace Lee. Who's this, please?
Yeah, my name's Pierre Saba, and I'm calling from Cedar Rapids, Iowa.
Ah! Here we come.
Finally made it.
Is that Pierre?
Pardon me?
I'm sorry, is that Pierre?
Yeah, Pierre.
Nice to have you with us, Pierre.
Well, great to have you. And
let me guess, are you by chance going to have a chance to see Grace at that special convention?
To tell you the truth, I'm totally confused. I thought it would be in Riverside, Iowa.
In Riverside.
Fairfield. Well, maybe it is Riverside. Yes, it is Riverside. You're right.
Thank you.
You're right. But I go to Fairfield.
Right.
And they take me to Riverside.
Oh, okay.
Is that how it works?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just only know, and the ticket says to Rapid City.
Rapid City. I don't...
So how am I going to get to Riverside from Rapid City?
Welcome to Iowa.
They're obviously going to beam me there from the airport. I don't know how else I'm going to get there.
I can't wait to see you there. I mean, this I think will be the 10th year. I got to go last year.
Was it good?
It was nice. You know, it's different. And we need stars, and thank you, Grace, for coming to Iowa.
Oh, all right. Well, I'll be there with bells on.
Who do you normally have there then, Pierre, when people like Grace or the other characters aren't there to share the time with you?
Other friends, fans.
Okay, so you basically just have the little individual people who present the various items, but you don't have the celebrity draw.
That's right.
So this is very exciting. This sounds like something special for you guys.
Monumental. It'll go down in history in Riverside.
Do you have any questions that you'd like to ask Grace? Because you may not have a chance to ask them for her at the convention.
Well, you know, obviously there's a lot to ask Grace. I was just wondering, basically you were saying that Majel had some stuff coming up here, and I want to know if she, can tell us what the support is behind that, from Paramount or whatever, whoever it is.
She's doing it herself.
Yeah.
So you mean her television show?
Yeah, I guess it's about the android or something.
She's producing it.
Was it previously Jean's, from stuff that Jean?
I'm sure it was, yes.
Okay, because I heard that her and Dorothy Fontana.
Yeah, it's DC Fontana and Majel, but she's doing, I don't think that she's involved. Well, she must be with Paramount because it has to come through Paramount. Listen, I don't want to say something that's going to be wrong.
I put you on the spot, and
yeah, I don't want to misrepresent Majel in any way.
Yeah,
it's just that I'm so proud of her, the fact that she's doing this.
Me too.
Yeah, I'm very proud of her.
Very proud of her too, and she's come a long way, and you've obviously come a long way.
Obviously.
And it's been an honor to talk to you. And
thanks, Pierre.
I can't wait till you come to Iowa.
I can't wait either.
Pierre, very quickly, what did you pick up this evening?
The Star Trek communicator pin.
Oh, my favorite. Good for you. Is this the first time you had seen it?
No, I have one right here.
Oh, okay, good. And did you hear that word tone in the background?
Did you beam me out of here or something?
We beamed you out, all right. We're going to play the word game. How does that sound?
Oh, okay, we'll try.
We'll cross our fingers for good luck, and hopefully we'll make a trip to the prize wheel.
Okay. The clue is?
This is great. This is going to be a means of transportation, and it is a Star Trek term.
Oh, no. Transporter.
That's what I came up with, and I'm sitting here thinking, oh my goodness, it is transporter.
Yeah.
Fantastic. We're going to take a trip over to the prize wheel, Pierre.
Oh, no.
No, the hard part's over. Now you just get to think of how you're going to spend the money.
The best part already happened.
That's right. That's right. Oh, he said the best part happened because he got to speak with you. That was sweet.
Great.
That was sweet. And it looks like we're going to have for you, Pierre. All right.
No.
How does 150 QVC shopper dollars sound?
All right. It's already spent.
Anything perhaps from this show?
Oh, everything. My money will go. My money does go to Star Trek as it is. I have a whole wall just full of anything I can buy, from lunchboxes to yo-yos to whatever. And QVC has offered a lot of stuff where you can't get it, and I'm very grateful. I tape your guys' shows. I wish you'd give me some of the back ones I've missed, because there's so much information coming on here. You guys should put like a QVC, the best of QV Star Trek special tapes.
That's not a bad idea.
It isn't.
That's terrific. Sounds
I'm serious about that too. You guys do offer a lot of information and a lot of quality stuff that is not available out there.
Terrific. Well, listen, you stay on the line so we can credit your account, and thank you so much for keeping us company today.
And thank you. And thank you, Grace, and we'll see you in Iowa.
I'll see you in Iowa.
Wonderful.
All righty.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
And $119 for Marina Sirtis autograph photo plaque, again, from the final season. I do believe from the last episode, and she looks, Grace and I were just talking about how exquisite, too, the makeup and just her expression and everything. And again, she has her little soundboard communicator pin on as well. And Donna Harfinist is going to have Tova Borgnine featured at noon this afternoon. Let's take a look at one of the items Tova will be presenting for you.
Enjoy the clean, gentle, crystal clear scent of Tova's signature fragrance, Eau de Parfum, when it returns this Friday in Beauty by Tova with Tova Borgnine. Back for the first time since selling out last year, this delightful fragrance has a citrus freshness that takes you by surprise. The essence of rare bergamot, lavender, jasmine, and sandalwood becomes potent as the notes unfold. To order Tova's signature fragrance in this 2.5-ounce spray, call and ask for item number 812770. It's QVC priced at just $30. Don't miss its first appearance this year when Donna Harfinist hosts Beauty by Tova with Tova Borgnine, Friday at noon Eastern on QVC.
I shouldn't keep laughing, but she is just a trip. She cracks me up. Welcome back into our Star Trek show. We have for you our Star Trek original crew framed lithograph, and this one I had not seen before. People didn't know Star Trek was funny, did they, Grace? Until they put you and I together. We did this last time, and I promised my producer, I said, no, I will be a professional today. I will not be what did they call us, little giggle pusses was last time. I said, no, we'll be straight professionals. Well, we lied. Oh, well. $100 for our original crew framed lithograph. And you can see all your, well, not all your favorite characters, some of your favorite characters. And here's something that reminded me from our last show that I felt was so much fun. I'd asked you, which piece or collectible or item do you wish you still had from the series?
My communicator.
Your little, the tricorder.
The tricorder, yes.
That's what you had
not
said.
Communicator, tricorder, right. My tricorder, yes.
And when Bob was on the show, I had asked him, I said, Bob, I had asked Grace what collectible she still wished she had, and she mentioned the tricorder. I said, what do you wish you had? And he said, well, I don't know if I should tell anyone. And he goes, I still have the googly eyes when Sally Kellerman had been that character, and the eyes were all silvery, and he said, I have those. He said, I don't know if I should tell anyone. He said, that's the only thing I have. But,
oh, my God.
I said, are they valuable? And he said, well, I don't know. You know, anything's valuable if somebody's willing to pay for it. And
I have the original boots.
And the boots.
I have the boots.
And the boots, which are adorable.
I wish I had the head. I think some old bag lady down on Skid Row is wearing it somewhere.
Wearing your hair?
Wearing that hair. Or some, no, I shouldn't say that. I was going to say some drag queen was wearing it somewhere.
Would you like to head back over to the telephone?
Yes, hello there.
Hi, you're live on the air with Grace and Delisa. Who's this, please?
Gene from Hazleton, Pennsylvania.
Hi, Gene. How are you today?
Oh, pretty good, not bad.
Hi, Gene.
Hello, Grace. Well, I got a question for you.
Okay, hon, go.
Okay, back in 1968, when they made a movie back in this area, I met one of your friends that played in your show. I'm sure you remember who it is. He used to play Lieutenant Kyle, John Winston.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I became very good friends with him. And wonder, do you know how he's doing now? I lost contact with him a long time ago. We used to write back and forth.
Yes, now you mean, what did you say his name was?
John Winston. He played in the transporter room.
Oh, yeah, in the transporter room.
Yeah.
Right. I have seen him at some of the 25-year reunions. He and Kyle, who did Kyle?
John Winston.
No, not Kyle, the other one. Who sang, da-da-da-da-da, Kathleen? Who sang that?
See, this is where the trivia comes in handy. This is where I'm lost.
This is the one I'm lost to now. I just worked with him. He's a professor. Wonderful actor.
A real professor, PhD?
Yes, a PhD.
Wow.
He does Star Trek conventions. Anyway, what was your question about about Kyle?
Oh, I just wondered if you heard how he was and how he's doing.
I have not heard. I have not heard lately, but I did see him, it seems to me, at the 25-year reunion.
Right.
I saw a lot of people. I saw T'Pring. I saw, in fact, I saw Susan Oliver before she died at one of our reunions. It was just thrilling to see her.
What do you guys talk about when you get together with those reunions?
Well, we're just so busy. We're just everywhere, and we just, you know, Robin Williams comes to these things and just stands over by the wall. Robin Williams, if you can imagine, and watches all of us interact, because he was, as a little kid, he was such a Star Trek fan. And he and George Lucas, I mean, all these people that are mega stars today were watching us when they were kids.
So they were totally influenced by everything you were doing.
Totally.
I wonder if, how about
Do you know, I got to tell you a story. I was, my favorite singer, I'm a jazz singer. My favorite singer is Lena Horne. And my husband took me down to the Amundsen in LA, the wonderful theater down there, to see her perform. And I was able to go backstage, and I wanted her autograph. And I walked in, and I was talking to her, and she looked at me, and she said, I hate to bother you, but could I have your autograph?
Oh, is that cute?
Can you imagine? Lena Horne wanted my autograph. She's a Star Trek fan.
Wonderful.
And here I've adored her since I can remember. So there you are.
That's adorable.
It's a mutual admiration society.
That's wonderful. Well, we want to thank you so much for giving us a call this morning. Did you select anything?
Yeah, the Ad 4958 encyclopedia.
It always is one of the most popular picks, probably because it's so unusual and because the price is so terrific. And in fact, over 700 people have selected it this morning. What do you think you're going to be able to use that for, Gene?
I can go over it. There's a lot of facts in it, which are worth knowing.
Mm-hmm.
And just, it brings back a lot of memories.
Yeah, it definitely has a nostalgia point of view to it. How about any of your friends? Are they also Trekkies? Because I know my sister and I often get on the phone and compare things when I order for her the Klingon pins or the communicator pins, and we talk about different things. Is that the same kind of rapport that you have with others?
Yeah, we just went to a place and we got one of those 3D posters, you know, of all the Spock and, you know, all the members of your Bones and all them, you know. Scotty was the one, though. Beam me up, you know.
Right, right. So it kind of becomes a conversation piece.
Right.
Terrific. Well, we want to thank you so much for giving us a call.
Okay, pleasure's been all mine.
Terrific. And you enjoy the encyclopedia.
Okay, thank you very much.
Take care.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And the original crew framed lithograph, $100, C6088. And again, you have Scotty, Spock, George Takei, who is one of Grace's favorites as well. You have Kirk, you have Bones, you have Nichelle, and you have Chekhov. And still available, we have the Next Generation poster set for $39.50. That's C14013. And again, that's going to be even nicer in person, as one of our wonderful viewers had suggested to us on the air. And don't forget about the Next Generation trivia game with bonus set. This is very popular this morning. $29.92, C14003. Show us more good pictures. We're going to take you into the next necklace, and then Grace is going to fill us in on some trivia. This one, by the way, is beautifully done in sterling silver and titanium. That's why you have the $51 price tag, because this is genuine sterling silver. So you do have your precious metal working with the titanium. Isn't that totally cool the way they've done this? It's an open
You can't see it, but there's an Enterprise in there.
Exactly. It's a three-dimensional looking unit, because what you have is an open face design that's actually concave in the center. And in the center, against that beautiful iridescent kind of rainbow background, I don't know if we can get in there, but there's the planet, and there's the Enterprise circling a planet.
Very good.
Isn't that sharp? And
Very
then, of course, you have the celestial styling, because you have the stars and the moon surrounding it, almost like a comet in a sort of orbit design. $51, J24601. And again, Grace can probably back me up on this, being at so many conventions. I have not seen this particular piece in any convention or anything like it, truly.
Very original.
Very, very nicely done.
Very original.
And this one's made in the USA, and we're going to head back over to the telephones. Hi, you're live on the air with Grace, Lee, and Delisa. Who's this, please?
Roy Stewart from Florida, Illinois.
Hi, Roy.
Hi, Roy.
How are you?
Okay.
Are you having fun, Roy?
Yeah, I was in line earlier to talk, and I got disconnected. I want to thank the operators for trying to get me back on. And,
oh, that's good.
What did we find for you this morning?
I got the encyclopedia.
Was that the first time you had seen it, Roy?
No, I'd seen it on here on a couple other shows, and it's like, well, I'll wait. I might see it at a bookstore or something, and yeah, I didn't, so I thought I just will get it now.
Exactly. And as one of our other viewers said, it's actually less expensive than what you're going to find at the convention sites.
Yeah, I heard him say it was $20-some.
Have you seen any of our Star Trek shows? Well, obviously you said you had seen a few in the past. Were you able to see when Grace was our guest the very first time?
No, this is the first time I've seen her.
Wonderful. And are we filling you in with all kinds of information and stories?
Yeah, I've turned on a while ago after I got off work and seen her on. It's like, she looks really familiar. And I grew up with the first Star Trek.
Yes.
And at first I didn't like the others, but you really grow into them.
It grows on you. It sure does.
I agree with you, Roy. I tend to be a purist anyway, and I always like the original of anything, the original crew, the original cast of not just Star Trek, but any. You tend to have a loyalty. But I think what draws us to Next Generation is, of course, the special effects and the techniques involved, and the fact that they have played up against the original series. As Grace said, we would like to have them incorporated even more, but they have done a nice job sort of referring back to some of the original programs.
Yeah, they've really made them grow up a lot, too, as far as going out and having other universes and things.
Well, we paved the way. The original series paved the way, and then with all the films, Star Trek 1 through 6, I mean, I thought the films were awesome. And we kept it going, and then they just picked it up and have carried it on, and now they're going to do 7, probably through 14. And it would be just great. We can just keep going, and then Deep Space Nine will come in.
Exactly.
So there you are. I wanted to show you.
Take
this
a look.
Is on the Excelsior. This is a Janice Rand with the Enterprise. Whoops, I wanted to get this.
That's probably why she looks so familiar, Roy.
Yeah, I've got all the movies. It's kind of hard to get them all, but I got them all together.
Well, I was watching Star Trek 6, I guess, the other day as a rerun, and all of a sudden I got a special little, you know, in my heart. All of a sudden there was Grace, and I said to my husband, "That's Grace. She was on the show with me." And I got all excited when they had you turn around at the communicator,
it was wonderful.
communication control board.
But
it was a lot of fun.
This is really beautiful. I love this. This is beautiful.
Wonderful, Roy. Well, it was good to have you speaking with us this morning.
It's good to talk to you guys.
And you enjoy your new encyclopedia, and thanks for watching our Star Trek specials.
Thank you, too.
And you take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
And J24601, the open titanium necklace, is $51. Remember, titanium is literally a space-age metal, and they have used it for aeronautical purposes as well as surgical purposes. It's a very lightweight, very special material, and you're going to find it a lot more in jewelry. And still available, the Next Generation Uncut Sheets. These are only $35.50, C10885. And again, there are all of your favorite characters from some of your favorite episodes of Next Generation. There, of course, is Majel. We saw Tasha Yar, who I just love her as well,
so
Denise
do I.
Crosby. There's the
She's
Enterprise.
wonderful.
Yeah, and where's my buddy Data? And there is something brand spanking new for you today. We have never showed you this before. It's the Kirk and Spock autographed motion picture plaque, $198. That's C13977. And that's going to bring us into our next break, and we'll be right back. Stay with us after this.
Monday, find the Father's Day gift that Dad will treasure and be doubly proud to wear. It's the latest creation in the Save the Children accessories line, Design-A-Tie. Design-A-Tie lets your youngsters easily create colorful, unforgettable presents for Dad. Ties no one else will have or wear with greater affection. Because a portion of all proceeds from Save the Children accessories will benefit disadvantaged children worldwide. So join us for the perfect Father's Day gift. Find it in Save the Children accessories, twice, Monday at 11 a.m. Eastern and again at 7 p.m. Eastern, only on QVC.
NASCAR auto racing. It's one of the hottest spectator sports in America. And QVC brings it home to you with a 2-hour race special starring Winston Cup driver Mark Martin. Hear Mark's insights into racing and shop for t-shirts, jackets, cards, and more cool stuff available only at the track and on QVC. It's a 2-hour special for race fans only with Mark Martin this Wednesday starting at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific.
Them into films.
Sure.
That's it. Money.
Sure.
Money. Speaking of money, we are going to welcome you back into our Star Trek special. My name is Delisa Crane, here, of course, with Grace Lee Whitney, actress, and, of course, you remember her as Yeoman Janice Rand. We're going to take you into my absolute, you know I adore the jewelry. This is one of my favorite items that we have for you. It's the Deep Space Nine Bajoran earring, and this one is only $31, J21048. And I know that thousands of you have selected this as your personal favorite. I know I ordered this for my sister. I have a Bajoran earring. And again, do keep in mind that this one is modeled exactly after the one that Kira wears in Deep Space Nine, because remember, each Bajoran, and it is unisex, has their own individual symbol. And it's supposed to be a special ideal that connects the heart with the mind and the soul. That's the significance behind the earring being clipped up on the top as well as on the bottom. $31, it is very, very popular. The Bajoran earring, this is the one that I'm wearing on my right ear. And as you're taking a look, let's head on over to the telephones. Hi, you're live on the air with Grace and Delisa. Who's this, please?
This is Terry from Abilene, Texas.
Hi, Terry.
Hi, Terry.
Hi. Grace, earlier you were mentioning something about a guy on one of the shows singing the song about Kathleen, and you got me wondering about it, so I looked in my Star Trek concordance.
Thank you.
And that was Lieutenant Kevin Riley, played by Bruce Hyde.
Bruce Hyde. Yay! Thank you.
Where did you find that, Terry?
In the concordance.
In the concordance?
Yeah. That's what was before the encyclopedia, was the concordance. Yes, Bijou Trimble did the first concordance.
That's incredible.
Is that the one you have with Bijou?
That's the one I have, the one with the wheel on it.
Okay, Kevin Riley, Bruce Hyde. I was just with him at a convention. He is now a professor at a university, and I think in San Francisco, right? Does it say?
No, it sure doesn't.
Thanks for calling in with that. That's terrific. Thank you.
So, Terry, I guess you've been watching Star Trek for a number of years, huh?
Yes, quite a few years. Tonight I got the encyclopedia to update my concordance.
There you go.
Great. There you go.
That's wonderful. And then how does that work? I mean, other than the unusual situation we had tonight, how often do you use that concordance and in what sort of circumstances?
I use it whenever somebody brings up a question or I see something that kind of clicks something on mine and I want to find out a little bit more about it.
But don't you find it amazing that there's actually an encyclopedia based upon a television show and that you'll actually use this information?
I use it more than I would a regular encyclopedia,
That's what I
unfortunately.
mean. I mean, that to me is just, I mean, when you're thinking about the significance of Star Trek, I mean, I think that kind of says it all.
Listen, what episode was that? Corbomite Maneuver?
Dagger of the Mind.
Oh, Dagger of the Mind. Boy, thank you. That's really great. Bruce Hyde, Lieutenant Kevin Riley, Dagger of the Mind.
I have to correct that. That was The Naked Time. I'm
The
sorry.
Naked Time.
See, now that's the part of being a Trekkie that I am not good with. I don't know all the little details
The
or all
first
the
episode that aired was that the Salt Man, the Salt Creature? Was that Corbomite? Corbomite.
It was the Man Trap with the Salt Creature.
Right.
That's amazing, Grace.
1966.
I mean, I was just going to say, you've remembered all that from the original.
Yeah.
From 1966.
Yeah,
That's fantastic. Terry, have you been to any of the conventions?
I was at one in San Antonio, and they had one here in Abilene last year, but unfortunately I had to work, so I couldn't make it. Mark Leonard, it was both of those, so I saw him at San Antonio.
Well, we were at Tex Trek in, I think it was last year. There was Cole Meany and George Takei and myself. There were over 3,000 fans there. It was amazing. At Tex Trek, and that was in Arlington, Texas.
Right. Hopefully I'll make it the next one.
Yeah. Well,
Sounds terrific. Well, Terry, thank you so much for giving us a call. We appreciate that. Grace was going crazy at the little break, and I'm so glad you...
Listen, I'm coming to Houston. I'm coming to Houston. You're having another convention in Houston.
When's that one?
Houston Con. I'm not sure. I think it's September.
Okay, well, hopefully I'll see you there then.
You will. Be sure you come up to me and tell me that you saw me on QVC. You talk to me on QVC so we can talk about it.
Okay, I sure will.
Terrific.
Okay?
Thank you so much, Terry. We
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
And very quickly, I'm wearing the earring, so if you'd like to take a look, there it is, the Deep Space Nine Bajoran earring, $31. Again, it's unisex, so the guys can enjoy this just as much as the ladies. $31. And coming up in the next hour in our QVC sampler, we are going to have for you the Moulinex electric can opener for $36.50. It's item K3147, and this one is a handheld unit that also has a convenient wall holder, and what makes it special is that it leaves no sharp edges on the can. And we'll also have for you the Shiatsu Pro Massager for $64.28. It's item V1137. And this, of course, is going to help provide relief from minor aches and pains. And all you have to do is massage for 3 minutes, and that's going to give you a complete workover. V1137, the Shiatsu. We're going to take you right at, you caught me going like this. We never do a pick in the middle of a guest, but we're going to continue right now with our Star Trek clock. And this is the first time, well, you've seen this one before, but it's the first time we've ever had a clock available for you. So this is the one and only Star Trek clock for $53.75, C13430. And this one, of course, as you can see, has your favorite Next Generation characters. The one that I was disappointed not to see her more often was Whoopi Goldberg as Guinan. I thought she was fabulous.
So did I.
The character, the way she portrayed. I happen to love Whoopi better as a dramatic actress than I do as a comedian.
Oh, she's wonderful.
She is fantastic. And of course, here you have Data. You even have Will Wheaton.
Where's Will?
Wesley Crusher, right down over, right here at the end.
Oh, yeah, Will Wheaton. He was my favorite character. I just love him.
Isn't he cute?
Yeah, he's darling, and his parents are so great. His parents, we used to go on cruises together. We had such a good time. His parents are so devoted to him, and such wonderful people. And we had a good time. Will Wheaton was a doll. God, he was a dynamo.
You were going to show us some other pictures, too, because...
I was going to show you just... Well, I don't want to take away from that.
I love these. I love these.
But
because it really ties in, I guess, the nostalgia and the original feeling.
This is the real nostalgia, yeah. This was, and you know what? Does anybody notice what's wrong with this picture? Any of you fans call in. What's wrong with this picture?
I see it. I see it. I don't know if that's what I see. Yeah, I see it already.
I want to see how smart you are. When's that phone going to light up?
I see it already.
You do see it already?
I see it already. I'll tell you. I'll save you. Kirk's logo's on the wrong side.
Well, it's because the
Was I not supposed to say that?
Well, no, we have to wait for somebody to call in because I'll blow it.
We're going to take a look at our Next Generation clock, and again, this is...
love it.
Who was it that we were talking to earlier that said he has everything all over his house? It was either Roy or Terry or Gene. I remember it was one of the fellas.
Pierre.
And he said he has Star Trek everywhere. Dining room, living room, bedroom. This is a wonderful addition
this is terrific.
For the collectors. Grace, tell us a little bit about what you talk about at the conventions.
Well, I talk about what it was like, what happened, and what it's like now. I mean, I tell my whole story about my career. I started out as a child from radio, go into Broadway shows, go into under contract at Warner Brothers, into working with the lieutenant, meeting Gene Roddenberry, doing the pilot of Police Story into Star Trek, axed from Star Trek into the toilet. My disease from alcoholism, what happened to me, how devastated I was, where I ended up, how I wrecked my marriages and did all that stuff, and then all of a sudden I got sober. And then all of a sudden I found everything and began to go to all the conventions and wrote songs and now go all over the world. It's the most amazing story. And we clap and we holler and we cry and we talk about God and we just have a great time.
Well, you know what's amazing too is, as you said, Star Trek wasn't your first and only introduction. You were already a consummate actress and a professional.
Working all the time.
Why wouldn't you think that even though that ended, that you wouldn't be able to just get right into the next project?
Because I believe still to this day that Star Trek was the first series. I was part of a family. I'm an adopted child. When I was written out of Star Trek, it set up the fear of abandonment, the rejection, all of that stuff that we grapple with, that human beings grapple with. I couldn't handle it. It broke my heart. And I drank, and I drank, and I drank. And I became an alcoholic.
And thank God, everything's knock wood. And you're here to talk about it and to go on from there.
But I'm recovered, you guys. 13 years, a day at a time.
You can do it.
By the grace of God.
And you talk about that at the conventions,
I talk about it. I sign autographs. People come in, and they tell me their stories. Though I have a mother, then I have a father, and I have a son, and we love you, and we support you, and we clap, and we cry together, and I sign autographs. I'm telling you, it is the most fabulous life.
It's wonderful.
To be given this on in back of everything else, it's incredible.
It's wonderful. We're taking a look at the Next Generation crew clock. Again, as we go through the different items, I'm also trying to collect some thoughts from Grace because she is just wonderful. And I love to hear all the various parts, not just Yeoman Janice Rand, but a little bit of everything. It's wonderful. No, really?
Oh,
at the conventions and fan letters and everything?
Yes.
They say, what's it like
What's it like to hold him? What's it like to kiss him? Is he a good kisser?
Is he?
Yes.
We're taking a look at our autograph limited edition Captain Kirk plaque for $125. It's item C5865. And again, we've already highlighted for you how difficult it is to obtain William Shatner's autograph, so this is something extra special. And it is from Star Trek The Final Frontier. This is motion picture number 5. So this is something, again, extra special. And as the series, or as the movies continue, this is going to be a wonderful collectible. Tell us one of your favorite stories about working with William Shatner.
Well, he's just, in Enemy Within, when he lifted me up, I mean, everything went. The hair went askew, everything went, he was very, very physical. And in one of the scenes when I tell Spock about what happened on board, that the captain came at me and I was so upset and blah, blah, blah. Just before they did the take, Bill Shatner came right up to me on camera and slapped me right across the face. And I was in such shock. And then they said, action. And we started the scene right then after he had hit me. And it was like, I was just, it was fabulous.
So he did that just to get the exact response.
He did that to get me out of myself to do the scene.
Talk about method
Listen,
acting.
does anybody still know what's wrong with this? You've got to know what's wrong with this. It's printed backwards. It should be like this. In other words, this is on the wrong side because the photograph is printed backwards.
Right, right. That was the part I had picked up, that his little Delta shield.
Okay.
That's amazing how they did that.
Well, they just reversed it. They didn't realize that they did that, so they reversed it.
Interesting. What other interesting stories? I was telling Grace that the last time Bob Justman was on the show with us, our set sort of caught on fire, and I asked him about any sort of special effects difficulties that they had on his show. I said, like the ones we have on ours. Any mishaps or?
Well, when we were doing Star Trek IV, the probe, when the probe came in, that we had a couple of accidents before we actually got the shot. And it was frightening because it was very real, and the water went everywhere and glass broke, and then it would take 2 hours to mop everything up and get everything ready to go again, We've had a lot of hairy stuff happen, and the guys would fall asleep backstage and not open the doors, and we'd run into them, and
oh my goodness,
all that stuff. I mean,
typical theater.
Typical theater, yeah.
Unbelievable. $125 for the limited edition Captain Kirk plaque.
Now, he directed this.
The motion picture 5. Really?
Yeah.
Now we're going to get to one of your favorites. We have for you, and you know what? Out of everybody loving Gene Roddenberry and seeing his name printed on the television for all these years, I had hardly ever seen any pictures of him until I started doing the shows. So this is a wonderful opportunity. This is, of course, Majel and Gene. This is their autographed plaque for $79. It's C9772. And, of course, we've had Majel on previously, and as Grace just mentioned to us, she's continuing with some various projects. She does jewelry for us. She designs individual pieces and lines and collections. And, of course, she's the computer voice on both the original and the new series. And she reminds me a little bit of you, Grace, in the sense that her background is so rich and so varied. And as you were the chicken of the sea mermaid, she was telling me that she was the typical housewife of Madison Avenue.
Yes,
she was in every commercial.
All the commercials that you could imagine.
Exactly.
She was great.
And that's the thing that I don't think people realize about Star Trek, that the characters, that the actors are truly the most consummate
The only one who
professionals.
wasn't famous is Leonard Nimoy, because he was selling vacuum cleaners when he got Star Trek.
Isn't that amazing? And what was it that prompted the director or the producer to choose him?
Well, because he looked like Spock.
So they already had an idea of what
They had
Spock.
an idea. Well, he was to look like Submariner.
Hmm.
You know Submariner, the comic book character?
No.
Submariner. He was a long face, and he swam underwater, and he was like a very different features, just like Leonard, exactly like
And that
Leonard.
was it.
Yeah.
Because when Bob was here, he said that he had chosen Picard based upon his voice. That's all it
Based
took. He
upon
heard
his
him
voice.
in a play and said, that's the voice of the new captain. That's who we have to have. And auditioned him, and that's how Picard got Patrick Stewart had gotten the part. And then, as you said, you had worked with Gene previously.
Well, let me tell you how I got the role of Rand was in Police Story. He had it all monitored. With the audience had to press certain buttons when characters came on the screen. And he said that Grace Lee Whitney rang more bells than anybody else. He took me out of that. No, that's how I got Star Trek, because I rang everybody's bell.
And still doing it today. That's hysterical. So it's kind of like a focus group, but without asking them questions. I didn't realize they had that technology back then. Immediate response.
Yeah, immediate response.
That's fantastic. So they said, well, this story isn't working. And it was a different police story than what we had seen on the air.
No, this was a long time ago, way before Angie Dickinson.
Wonderful. Yeah. We have to head over to the lucky number machine. So as you're choosing Majel and Jean's plaque, let's head over and see what the new lucky number will be.
A new 4-digit lucky number is drawn every hour on the QVC cable shopping channel. Every time that number matches either the first 4 digits or the last 4 digits of your QVC membership number, and you notify us by phone that you have a match before the next lucky number is drawn, your QVC account will be credited with 10 shopper dollars, and you will also be automatically entered in all 5 of the next day's $1,000 QVC shopping spree drawings. If you don't already have a membership number, get yours now. It's completely free, no purchase necessary, and there's absolutely no obligation. Just call toll-free 1-800-345-1515, and a QVC membership number will be assigned to you on the phone.
And our current QVC lucky number is 9245. That's 9245 for our current QVC lucky number. And Majel and Jean's autograph plaque. This is the last item we'll have a chance to take a look at, and we will be able to do a full review. So if those of you are coming in from work, or you're just waking up and you had missed some of our program together, we will be able to show you every single item that is still available. In fact, are we going to do that right now, Ray? Okay, we're going to do the full review from the very beginning. We started you off, excuse me, with the Next Generation final season plaque, and over 200 of you have selected this one. If you look at the price, you can see it's an excellent value, especially since you have that special Skybox card right there, and it is removable. $49.50, C13623. And our Star Trek Original Crew plaque is $495. It's C5166. It has the 7 character signatures right on there. Again, you know how difficult it is to obtain one autograph, let alone all 7. And it will be limited to only 2,500 pieces. And over 800 of you have selected the Star Trek Encyclopedia for $16.57. That's at 4958. And you heard from Terry, this is going to be perfect for those of you always looking up little tidbits of information. It has everything: the uniforms, what was worn in what episode, pins, all kinds of information. My favorite item is the Star Trek Soundboard Communicator pin. This is the one that makes the sound, officially licensed by Paramount, exclusive to us here at QVC for $31.50, J16144, and I think close to 50,000 of those have been ordered from all of our shows together. Listen to this. And over 300 of our poster sets have been selected today, $39.50 for item C14013. And don't forget about the Next Generation trivia game, and this one is new because it has the bonus set included. $29.92, C14003. And this sold out the last time it was on the air. It's the Next Generation Uncut Sheets for $35.50. That's C10885, and we ordered those back in stock just for you today. And brand spanking new, we have the Kirk and Spock autographed motion picture plaque for $198. That's C13977.
That's wonderful.
They look fantastic. They really do. And that's autographed. And an extra special piece, again, Steve Bryan, our comic book experts, loves this one. The limited edition Star Trek framed comic. It's #1. And for those comic book collectors, you know that the #1 edition is always the most important and the most valuable. $249, C4288. First issue. And just a few dozen are remaining in our Next Generation Crew signed plaque. $495. That's C13868. Once those are sold out, that's it. You will never be able to find this plaque again. Only a few dozen remaining, C13868. And last call on these. I don't think we'll be able to bring the pewter statues back for you. Between $17 and $18, we have the original series as well as Next Generation, C10734.
Did Patrick Stewart sign that last time?
I believe so.
Wow.
And Deanna Troy's last season autographed plaque is $119. That's C13582. And there you can see Marina's signature. And don't forget about the original Crew framed lithograph for $100. That's C6088. And half of our quantity is sold out in our sterling silver open titanium necklace for $51. That's J as in jewelry, 24601. And another one of my favorites, here's the Deep Space Nine Bajoran earring that I've been wearing for $31. That's J21048. And don't forget, we don't know when or how often these items will be available. With Halloween coming up in October, you definitely want to get a jump start on some of these pieces. Here's the Next Generation Crew Clock, 3 dozen remaining at $53.75. That's C13430. And our limited edition Captain Kirk plaque is $125, C5865, and of course that's autographed. And here's a special picture. Again, as I mentioned to Grace, we hear about Gene all the time, but how many of us have ever really been able to capture his likeness? Well, here he is with the love of his life, Majel, in their autographed plaque for only $79, and that's C9772. And once again, I have a special place in my heart, Grace, because you were my very first guest for the Star Trek show. And as you can see, this is my 4th one. The viewers are receptive.
Dynamite.
We have a ball
dynamite.
together, and I hope we get a chance to work again.
Oh, thank you so much. Live long and prosper, my dear.
You too.
I'll see you again.
Stay tuned for Elizabeth. She'll be back, and we'll keep you updated as to when the next Star Trek show is happening your way and when Grace will be back to join us. And don't forget to watch her at the conventions in Iowa.
Keep on trekking, you guys. Keep on trekking.